This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Bit of footy information around at the moment, which I find really interesting. We're going to talk about trade periods and some other grand final stuff a bit later on. But I just wanted to mention, at quarter time of the grand final over the weekend, there was John Denver's Country Road played out at quarter time. Now, Brisbane's player Charlie Cameron is, their star forward.
Yes.
And when they play a home game at the Gabba and he kicks a goal, which happens all the time, his song that they play over is Country Road by John Denver.
Which is his choice.
Every
right?
time.
His choice?
His choice.
Yeah.
And the crowd get right into it.
So can you pick a song?
It doesn't happen to any other team, but Brisbane have set this as their thing.
I love it. Everyone else should do it.
And the crowd gets so heavily involved in Country Road when they're playing at the Gabba. So when the AFL put out a thing, said, here's a few songs we might play at quarter time during the grand final, only for the people that are there. And the crowd unanimously said, play Country Road. We love to hear that.
Yeah.
So Country Road gets played at quarter time. The Collingwood Football Club, apparently, they get on the phone straight away. How can you be playing this guy's song because it's associated with him? That's going to fire him up. Anyway, Charlie
I don't think
Cameron,
that song fires anyone
I
up.
know. That doesn't really make me go, rah!
well, that's his song, so he's like,
Yeah, I know, but like, it's, you know what I mean?
I know.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's no Eye of the Tiger.
no,
This
no,
is sitting on the porch and tapping your toe.
Yeah, it's exactly. While you're whittling.
So 100,000 people at the MCG on Saturday started singing at quarter time, and then Charlie Cameron came out and went absolutely ballistic in that second quarter and had his best quarter, and he was just on fire. Bobby Hill had a great quarter that quarter as well, the second. But I think Charlie at least kicked 2 goals in that quarter, maybe even 3. And the Collingwood guys that song is not to be played again. It can't happen. This is unfair.
No, well, maybe they just need one of their players to have a song associated with them, and then they can play that as well, and then it's even.
I know.
Yeah, no, that'll be
Don't
true.
do-
And
Deprive
I've got an
the
idea,
crowd
maybe
of
something a
Country
little bit
Road.
up-tempo. Maybe a bit of Eye of the Tiger or something, I don't know. Not REM, Everybody Hurts.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? Moving on to cricket last night, I was watching a little bit of this. Australia were playing West Indies in a T20 match, and the Aussies are so good in the women's cricket, as we know. The men's are good as well, but they posted over 213 runs, our Australian women.
Yeah.
And Phoebe Litchfield was one player who hit half century of only 18 deliveries.
Extraordinary.
So you think of Mitch Marsh just going tonking everyone. This is what Phoebe did. So anyway, it looked like Australia were going to dominate this game. In steps Hayley Matthews, who's the captain of the West Indies team. She belted 132 runs of like 62 deliveries, and Australia lost with one ball to go.
It was the highest run chase and the highest total score as well. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. But the other thing is the Aussies dropped her a couple of times, so lift your game in the fielding. And finally...
They're normally pretty good, actually. I don't know what happened.
Sean's lift their game.
Finally, a bit of controversy over the last couple of days in snooker. Old mate...
Everybody's talking about
Everybody's saying it. Ding Junhui. Now, he's one of the great players of China, and this is a qualifying game for the English Open.
Yes.
He's turned up with the wrong trousers. He's come along with brown trousers. Now, he said that he wasn't aware that the rules were that watertight. Now, we all know snooker. We all know pool.
Yeah.
When you're turning up to a match, you know that's black trousers, surely.
Straight away. I mean, you may get, pulverised and leave with brown trousers, but they should be black right at the start, Shaun.
I just think there should be a rule against brown trousers, full stop, in life.
Actually,
Do you have
that's
any
good, man.
brown
Yeah.
trousers?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I think I do.
What, corduroys or just brown trousers?
No, this is just brown
Just
trousers.
chocolate brown trousers.
Trousers, they call them.
Is it that important? As in,
Well, it's against the rules now.
I know, but it's a snooker. It's about how you hit the ball, right?
Well, it is, but he's wearing a waistcoat as well.
You know what?
brown.
That's where he's taken it too far. He's brought the trousers up to the vest, and he's wearing a brown vest as well. Is that a brown bow tie as well? He's spitting in the face of
I
tradition.
think that might be black, maybe.
You can't
Well,
wear a black
the
bow
issue
tie with a
was-
brown trousers,
and
a
a brown
brown
vest.
suit.
According to the rules, he was concerned that he was going to get kibosh from the competition.
But then
'Cause
why
this
did
is
he
a
do it?
qualifying round. No, this is he didn't know, and then he looked at the
brought the
rules.
wrong-
Anyway, they just deducted him one frame, which is one game
okay,
in
right.
pool,
So he's
and he was able to
penalised for his
overcome that.
trousers.
And what also happened before they got underway, he had to send his mate out, and he went down to the local
Stacks of Slacks shop.
Stacks of Slacks and came back with the right pair. I believe
Did he
these
call
were
Bars best vests on the way?
Stack Slacks and Best Vest. He's come back with a size 34, which is, a bit over the...
Oh,
It's a
so
bit
he's
loose
not a 34.
No, he's not.
He'd be a 32.
He's really angry about it. He's really angry
if
about it.
anything.
But he was able to
that.
play. I thought it was 30, yeah.
A 30, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
32 with the belt.
He was able to play with the deductation.
Did he qualify?
He qualified.
Did you
yes.
just say deductation?
I was going to go with deduction, but that's
Deduction?
not a word.
No, Shaun, if you said it, it's a word. Deduction.
And he went on to win 4 games to 3.
Oh, well done.
After a couple of years out of the AFL scene, Michael Barlow, former Fremantle
Yes.
player, remember when he broke his leg and he tried
Yes.
to get up
And tried to walk on it?
Like, oh,
no,
my
it's
God.
like, no, mate, it's broken.
Anyway, he
Look
was
down.
coaching in the local leagues over in the VFL and
Yeah.
has been very successful. He's joining the North Melbourne Football Club, so I wish him all the best. They've given him a job as head of development there, and that's kind of just the pathway to be
Yeah.
a coach in the AFL,
That's awesome.
which he is now. On the AFL thing, there was talk yesterday by Scott Pendlebury and also Craig McRae, the coach of Collingwood, about the possibility of giving or changing the medal that you get for winning a grand final for the 23 players who are able to take the field to making sure that they acknowledge and possibly give out something else or the same thing
Like what?
to the squad that plays.
Yeah,
throughout
but
the
they say this
series.
every year because every year there's a tragic tale. So when the
That-
Eagles
that-
won in
that- to be
2018,
honest, I have not said
Nick
this-
Natanui,
Yeah.
Brad Shepherd was out at the last minute, So
Yep.
there's always these tragic tales of people that have contributed to the entire season. Why? I mean, I guess when it's your team, you want,
Yeah,
So something like something that everyone would like a nice brooch.
or a vase.
a nice brooch would be lovely. In the NRL, the guys all got
Yeah.
rings, and they
I
do
think
that
the
in American
rings are
sport
great.
as well,
Yeah.
as we see all the time.
And because
in
it's great,
American
because then
sport.
you can see how well someone's done in their career because of how many rings they've got.
Yeah.
on
Look
there.
at those massive rings.
Yeah.
Those American ones are
Yeah,
too
they're
over
over the top,
though.
aren't they?
But at least there's something. It's hard to believe that, for example, Collingwood, John Noble, who played every single game of the season. Now, he's a
Yeah.
factor of them playing in the finals and then
100%.
playing and winning a grand final, that he's not a part of that.
Yeah.
He is.
They talked about when the Western Bulldogs won and Bob Murphy didn't get a medal.
Yeah, it's
It's
heartbreaking.
every year there's a tragic tale, and every year they
Yeah.
don't do anything about it. So either they've got to seize the day
Yeah.
and say they're going to do it, or they've just got to say, draw a line and say, no, this is the tradition and it's going to remain.
when
you were talking about the is it the Penrith?
Penrith Panthers?
Yeah. Did you see? I just read an interesting thing yesterday. I saw all the ski masks on them. They've got
Yeah,
the
so
ski
they'll-
goggles.
yeah.
That's to protect their eyes from champagne.
Oh, no, they've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah,
So
they've been doing it for ages.
so when
Yeah.
you guys,
We
in
don't-
AFL as well.
They don't do the champagne
Champagne
thing
thing.
after the game, but in American sport
It's
in particular,
amazing.
they've been doing that. That's what they do. As soon as they win the league, that's what they do. They
So
celebrate
champagne
that way.
goggles.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting back to where do you
medals.
draw the line? Let's say that you decide that everybody's in the lineup's going to
Yes.
get or contribute to the team. Is it anyone who's played a game that season?
or is it everybody in the squad?
Because everybody in the squad can be an old mate who's just
So what do they have on the list? 40?
yeah.
So maybe it is just 40. Maybe because if
But
you're
some guys
training,
have not even
but I
bloody
know, but if
kicked
you're
the ball and
if you're training with
done
them,
it,
but
you're supporting them all the way through, aren't
Yeah.
you? Are you? Where do you draw the line? If you play one game, have you contributed to a season?
I think it's
If you play
whoever-
one game but you lost, then you don't get one.
I think it's whoever on that team helped to get you there. Why not?
So, but how do you define that?
By the players.
How do you define help to get you there? Is it because they're just on the list and they've trained the whole way through, or they have to have qualified by playing
some
one
players
game,
on that list are a waste of space.
or they're long-term injured and they haven't played at all?
A combination of both. Yeah.
A waste of space.
Well, they are. They
I
get
think,
them
I
on, they
think,
go,
I
"Oh,
think
shit,
if you're a
gotta
part
keep
of
them for
that
the next
current
year."
team, why not? You know what I mean?
So if you're on the list, is that what you're saying?
You might not have got a game or whatever, but you're still on that list and you're
Yeah,
still
you're training
ready to
with
go.
them every week.
You're training. You're putting the work in.
I
you're
see that
dedicated.
You're a part of a championship winning team. Do you have to have it separated? These are the guys that won the medal on the day, and you're a
Well,
part
then,
of it.
then,
But what
it's-
if, what
then
if
it's
your
not
biggest,
also
what if
ran
your
anyway.
biggest name gets injured just before the
Yeah,
game?
that's
Do
right.
they not get? They would get something straight away.
No, they don't.
Wouldn't
Well,
they?
they don't in an AFL sense, but
No.
that's
Well,
what I'm saying.
that
They
makes
should, yeah.
that makes sense. It
Yeah.
should be. You
Well,
should be
and-
able to.
Yeah, my
I
thing
think
is
it's
where do
either
you-
got to
where do
be
we
all
draw
or
the line?
nothing,
Me
or
too.
you decide that it's if you played one game, at least one game, then you qualify.
Yeah.
It sort of
think
sucks
that
that
might be
your
the way.
team has won, and whether you got a game or not, all that year you put in all that time and dedication, your team won, and then you're not as celebrated as
Yeah.
other people. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
is, Nathan. Over the journey, people have just said, "Oh, well, that's the way it is." But I don't.
No.
I mean, that's that's kind of like we've done in society over a number of different things.
Yeah.
And it's time to move on. So we'll see if the AFL
Participation medals all round.
it'll come down to the players. Yeah, none of us agree with that. But playing a game, but it'll come down to the players and the AFL PA asking that question at the end of this season and at the start of the next season for it to be able to change.
I cannot see that a player would turn around and go, because they didn't play as much as me, or they didn't get a game, that it hurts me to give them the same thing.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't hurt me.
No.
I'll be like, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Awesome, because that could have been me injured, or that might not have been me playing.
Yeah, getting dropped for a grand final, which we've seen happen many times
that's right.
over. Yeah, we'll see where they stand on that one. But there's going to be change.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.